Yeah.
Well, we will call to order the January 17th Committee of the Whole meeting. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Gustafson, here. King,
Here, and I can hear you.
Malco,
Here.
Petty. Here. Clock.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 3, approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the December 20th, 2022 Committee of the Whole meeting?
So
So-
moved.
Motion by trustee Petty, second by trustee Keen. Clerk, please call the roll.
Gustafson. Yes. Petty. Yes. Clock.
Yes.
Malco.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Motion 5-0. Approved 5-0. Public comment. You'd like to come up for public comment, Committee of the Whole? No. Anyone online? Care to comment? See any hands up or anything? We'll move into new business. What we have tonight, guys, is a series of, start of the year. I don't say house cleaning because that'd be the end of the year, but start of the year, get after stuff that was approved through the budget time. Some of them are purchases and then agreements. So 5.1 is discussion or recommendation of the board for approval of the purchase of a 70-inch Land Pride RTR tiller from Bobcat of Rockford for the quoted price of $8,900. I will tell you these first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all public works purchases presented and approved at board time, but Troy is certainly on the meeting remotely, I believe, isn't he? Yeah. There we go.
Generic question.
Yeah.
Competitive quotes.
Hmm.
Our policy is to get them when they exceed $10,000. Is that it?
I think
For
we
land?
encourage them less than that. Yes, we encourage them at all times.
When I saw the docs and saw the one, did we get competitive quotes for the picnic tables, for example, or the electronic signs? Now, I know sometimes there's only one purveyor of some items,
Mhm.
but did I miss competitive quotes for these things?
Comparisons. I know a lot of time, well, before Troy answers, on some of these things, we just shop them. Like I think on picnic tables, we probably look at a lot of different, so much pricing is online now. We look at a lot of different vendors, look at what's available to us through procurement agencies, find the best price and go for it. For bigger equipment, I'm gonna ask Troy, please, to answer that question. How you go about, do you have the opportunity for competitive price solicitation on these?
Yes, speak for like, say the tiller. I know their Bobcat is Sourcewell, and also for our tractor and our zero turns, they've also been the low bidder. So that's why I went with the Bobcat of Rockford, and they sell the Land Pride for our, that's made kind of for our Kubota also. The signboards, I did get another quote from another vendor, and they were $2,000 plus per board more. The picnic tables, I was just looking online, and Uline does have the cheapest that I was seeing just from looking online. So I just went with them.
In the future, since you do this, in the future, can you put together for us when you put the docs in and it first goes before committee, just very briefly, the 2 or 3, do a little spreadsheet of who you looked at, where they're from, and what prices were, so we can see what the differences are. But sometimes we don't always go with lowest bidder, depending upon the quality or reputation of somebody or delivery or whatever. But it would be helpful to know who else is out there that does this stuff.
But you also have to look at the adaptability of the attachment you're buying for the piece of equipment you want.
Sure, and that's a decision he's making, but something simple here, like the picnic tables, where do they come from? Quality rating, so on and so
Mhm.
forth, just so that we have some information of who the 2 or 3 that were in the running for some of these items.
And he made a reference there, just in case it slipped by anyone, Sourcewell. Sourcewell is a federal procurement agency that follows
National procurement agency. It's
national. You're exactly right.
it's a
Federal law,
corporation
not-
of multiple
Yes.
municipalities throughout the country.
Exactly right. Sorry, national is the right term to use. They're not part of the federal government. but they competitively bid items across a mind-boggling array of components and products.
And
And-
full closed, the actual bidding, like full bids on full specs as well as, you know, sealed bids.
So if that's where it comes from, just tell us,
And
that's where it
those
came
are-
from.
Yep.
Thank you.
Make a recommendation, move 5.1 onto the board.
Second.
Motion trustee Plot. Second trustee Keen. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Keen,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Block,
Yes.
Hetty. Yes. Gustafson.
Yes,
Thank you. Item 5.2, discussion and recommendation to the board for approval of the purchase and installation of new sprockets and tracks by Bobcat of Rockford for the quoted price of $6,469.81. Now, this isn't a new purchase. This is maintenance, replacement parts on a vehicle, but because it's above $5,000, take to the board for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Motion in a second, clerk. You call the roll?
Block,
Yes.
Hetty,
yes,
Gustafson,
yes,
Malaco,
Yes.
Keen.
Yes.
5-0. Item 5.3. Discussion or recommendation to the board for approval of the purchase of 6 rectangular picnic tables and 6-foot long rectangular picnic tables and 3 46-inch round picnic tables from Uline for the quoted price of $10,200.17. And I do want to point out that one table in each of those categories is an ADA accessible table, which has a gap in them for a wheelchair to be able to go up to the table as well.
are these the ones that are green and
Yes,
covered the nice?
they're vinyl coated.
Okay,
Are they just getting scattered throughout or? Is there a specific place you're looking at?
The round ones we want to locate here, and that's something I'll be proposing to you in coming meetings is perhaps a location to house them semi-permanently out here for use for the food truck Fridays. We already have a pretty robust. I think Ann was telling me today, we have every first Friday. I can't remember between the stretch of months, but the entirety of the warm weather months. Those filled in very quickly and probably anticipate having people for most Fridays throughout the summer right here at the Village parking lot. So probably have the round picnic tables here. And Troy, I'm talking over top of your stuff here. I don't know if you have a designated home for other picnic tables, Troy.
Yes, the nice green ones that I'm ordering, I want to keep over at Swanson because they're nice protected over there. And also it'll be easy access for us. So I want to use those for like when we have our events, like say the Halloween one, we can bring down the nice looking ones or to a national night out. So they have nice looking picnic tables, stuff like that.
so you just said you're going to store them? Or you're only going to store some of them?
Although, go ahead, Troy.
Not storm, I mean, put them over at the Swanson baseball park. There's a bunch of picnic tables over there.
I think store just meant their regular location for use, but then they'll be relocated for events. They're nice.
We'll get use over there.
Make a motion, we move 5.3 to the board.
Second.
Motion by Clark, second by Keen. Clerk, any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Hetty,
Yes,
Malaco,
Yes.
Gustafson,
yes,
Keen,
Yes.
Block.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Okay, discussion and recommendation of the board for approval of the purchase of 2 3-line electronic signboards from Sherwin Industries for the quoted price of $40,165. That's for the 2 signs.
So moved. Second.
Second. Trustee Malaco. Any discussion?
No,
Clerk,
Scott,
go.
Scott, these are the standalone units, right?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
that's it. Okay, good.
Malco,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Motion approved 5-0. Item 5.5, discussion and recommendation to the board for approval of the purchase of a 49-inch two-piece aluminum lift gate. These are commonly referred to as a Tommy gate from the Monroe Truck Company for the quoted price of $5,831.00.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
when was the second?
I think I wrote down trustee.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
The next three are fairground agreements. 5.6 is discussion or recommendation for to the board for approval of the shared 2023 engineering outsource agreement with Fairground Engineering Environmental for $67,250. Now, this is shared with the city of Oak Park. We do a 40%, 60% split.
Loves Park.
I said, I'm tired. I'm sorry. South Beloit. Yeah, South Beloit. I was meeting with all of them today, so I got them all in my mind. South Beloit. Now, this is a lower amount than you're seeing that was presented as part of the budget, but that's because we've been on a 12-month agreement cycle from March to March. And Sonia and I asked that we do a 10-month agreement so that it's ending at the end of the year, so that we have January renewals instead of March 1st renewals. There's no reason to have them renew March 1st.
Or-
Yeah, so you know, this is for a 10-month agreement instead of a 12-month, and then January 1st, we'll have a
So moved.
12-month.
Second.
Justin Plock and Anthony Keene on the first motion and the second.
Flock,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Thank you. 5-0. 5.7 is discussion and recommendation to the board for approval of the 2023 residential streets program agreement for design and construction observation with Fairground for the curiously round number of $55,000 even. That was an unnecessary edit, sorry. A good number.
So moved.
Second.
Keen,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Is that everyone? Thanks. And 5.8 is discussion and recommendation of the board for approval of the 2024 residential streets for design only with Fairground Engineering and Environmental, $26,900.
They'll just, we'll have this to us by the end of the year.
Correct.
Because this is getting us year in.
Yep. So this will have the 2024 project scope or residential streets project scope designed this year. And then I expect moving forward, we can just always hire them to design the next year's out. So 2024, we'll have them design 2025 because 2024 will already have been designed.
2024, we'll have to have them do the construction observation.
Exactly right. Yep, we'll do a separate agreement for that.
Okay.
So the expectation is sometime in December, we will have that
I'll ask them to put together a project
a
schedule.
timeline.
I'd like it before December.
Yeah, you don't want to have to just flip it over. Make a motion to move 5.8 to the board.
So.
Second? All right, too petty on the second.
Second.
But back to a question, since it's so much less than 2023, help me remember the 2024 projects. There's a scope compared to 20.
Brandon?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Yes. So she had,
Since the design cost for 2024 is nearly half what it would be for 2023, help me remember. Did we project doing a far less work in 2024?
Yes.
Yep, that is correct. If you recall, per the recommendation of the board, we were, for 2023, we're doing some work in the Sagewood subdivision. And then I believe it was in the second meeting, we added the downtown full depth reclamation along like Chestnut Broad, which I think, I'm not sure of the exact dollar amount, but it brought us up to around 1. Was it 8 million, Scott, or somewhere around there? It was pretty high, much higher than.
No, that's one, yeah. What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact number was. I apologize. I don't have that in front
Oh,
of me.
there's two of them, but it reached about $900,000, right? So it became 1.8 million combined, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, and then 2024, we are looking at doing work. Let's see. Pulling it up right now.
Was the
Oh, and
second year.
2024 is all of Promontory Ridge. That is correct. So
It didn't have the extra.
Concrete. So
No, I didn't have like how we did extra where we did Sagewood and we're doing it in the downtown. It didn't have the secondary portion of it.
Correct.
2024.
that's
I
correct.
think it was left that way in case we felt the money wasn't there or something.
And of course, Sagewood has curb and gutter. Sagewood, gosh, I'm sorry, Promontory has curb and gutter. So we don't have to have the additional intersection treatment that we're doing, that we approved as part of both scopes of work this year. So I guess you could always come end of your budget talk time, or even if we decide during the course of the year, I suppose, if we look forward and think we want to tackle more 2024 work, we can ask them for a proposal and get that designed this year.
see how we finish. the year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I do want to speak to the schedule. As Scott stated, we will absolutely get a schedule, but I do know we are not going to sit on these projects until December. We will just we'll likely move them along. Obviously, the priority will be the 2023 project, but then we will hop right into the 2024. So we have no intentions of pushing that until to the end of the year, but we will get a project schedule, probably meet with my managers sometime next week, and then obviously run that through Troy, Scott, and staff, make sure everybody's on board, and then we will present that, whether that's in a memo format or in a board format. Either way, doesn't matter to us, but we will have those for you guys.
Would you make sure, Brandon, when you do those to indicate the meetings at which various approvals or action might be needed?
Absolutely. Yes, we will.
Thanks. We didn't vote on it, did we?
I just need to do the call.
What's that?
First was Clark, second was Patty.
Yep.
Okay, so Patty,
Any fur-
yes. Gustafson,
Yes,
Malaco,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
thank you. I didn't mean to hijack.
Thank you, and I love that we're doing this.
Good call on that.
6, any old business?
yes, a couple of questions. Does our code enforcement officer have everything he needs now? His software, his vehicle, his space, whatever?
Stocking cap.
All but the software. And we will bring forward that agreement for your approval. We won't have that without it because it's a sizable chunk. We are negotiating price with the choice, spent a lot of time with 3 different vendors. Are in sound agreement on the one we want to pursue with. Their initial fee proposal back was way too high. But it demonstrated, I think, either just an earnest marketing effort or a misunderstanding of the number of modules we needed. And so we have made a counter request back to say, here's what we feel we need from you. And we're asking them to reprice that. Probably have it for the next meeting. Yes, he has his vehicle and everything else. And he's doing a great job.
Great. And update IT, did we ever get that audit? Are we in transition now to the new
Yeah.
company?
We
So the front doors will get fixed?
so those are two sort of separate things though. The IT audit is complete. And they have been out they've already had some on-site presence. They were there to do the update for the Connect accounting software that allows Ann to do her year-end stuff. And they, by all accounts, that went swimmingly. And they've helped out with the other things on demand already. They've been very responsive, so that's encouraging. We have a meeting scheduled for Friday at 9:30 a.m. to go over all the results of the audit and see what recommendations might be forthcoming. The access control is a separate matter that's being handled by Montel Technologies. They were the ones who stepped in right away to try to get a new S2 box for us. They have been able to, it's installed, they've been here 2 days last week and 1 day this week so far. And it's been a bigger job, getting on and online. It's been a bigger job than anticipated. They've slowly been bringing stuff online. We're to the point now where S2 is installed and works and now has software control back over the program again. And our fobs are finally working on most of the doors in the building. Now we're at the point of hardware, of addressing doors that don't work. And actually, the front doors work now. I think we might have to. And do we need to do any kind of reprogramming for trustees' cards or anything? But the front doors work again now, right?
The front door does unlock at 9 and relock at 5. And yes, if I will need to reprogram everyone's fob. So if you have them with you and you just want to leave them in front of your nameplate or by your nameplate, I will get them set up again. Otherwise, yeah, pop in sometime during the day and I can do it. But as of right now, no one's fob will work until I activate it.
Okay.
And now we're down to hardware. Now we're down to one door that never works, 2 doors that work intermittently, and they're gonna come spend a day figuring out what they have to replace to make those work. So we're kind of there.
All right. There's a whole system that has to be replaced next year.
Don't say that.
No, well, what I meant was, it's been problematic.
It has been problematic.
Wondering if there was a better.
I don't know the answer, but right, we're not to the point yet of abandoning it and making an equal investment to what we've already made to go to a new one. I don't know what will push us to that decision, but I think we got close to it.
Alrighty.
If I tell you what, if S2 would have been 6 to 8 months, then we might have had to just walk away from it.
Right,
Yeah.
go with the flow.
It's been frustrating.
I have a few questions. Could we have a list of ZBA meetings, schedule ZBA meetings for this coming year?
You bet.
And is it possible to contact the VFW to see if they want a Memorial Day parade?
I was just thinking about that today.
That's
I'll ask our light
argument within itself.
No, I was just thinking about that today. But yes, we absolutely should do that. And then maybe I'll invite our lifetime member to make that initial reach out if he wants, but
And
otherwise I'll get Maury a call.
and then Brandon.
Yep.
That section on Country Hills Court.
Yep.
The roadway to be repaired. Is that still on your radar?
Yes, that is on our radar. I actually added it to our list. Troy and I usually come up with a list of locations throughout the winter that we run into that we want to consider for the Class D patch in the following year. I've added that to my list to look at. I drove out there the day that you called me. I did drive out there and take a look at it, but we want to develop a comprehensive list of areas to determine where that falls in our need. We shouldn't have any issues getting it addressed, but obviously we don't know until the spring and the roads thaw. That's usually when you get a lot of potholes that come up. So we want to just evaluate everything before doing so. But it is on our list.
So why don't you share what I'm unaware of this request? This is down at the end of.
I thought you knew about it.
Country Court? I don't think so. Is it just?
Yeah, this is at the end of Country Court. There's some pavement deterioration
Okay.
near the intersection where it tees. And also on the dead end stub as well. So not super highly traveled or anything like that, but the pavement is deteriorating and obviously that can get worse if it doesn't get addressed. So Sue had asked me to drive out there, take a look. It's been a resident that has actually, I believe, complained multiple times if I'm not mistaken, Trustee Petty, but.
Yeah, well, on this issue, he approached me election day when I was an election judge. So
Brendan, do you think this is a Class D project?
Yes, yeah, it's pretty localized. It's not, it doesn't need full resurfacing. majority of the roadway is in pretty good shape. Actually, real good shape compared to some of our other roads in like Sagewood and the older subdivisions. But I think that road has been, I don't know if it had some maintenance operations on it, but looks like it's in pretty good shape. So these areas are not very large, probably a few $1,000s to, to address. And
Does anything need like immediate cold patch intervention?
I'll have to talk with Troy about that. I don't know if it's gotten worse with the snowplow season. I guess from the looks of it, when I went out there and looked at it, it may have been damaged more during snowplow season. There were some broken chunks, some chunks stuck out of the ground. I removed some of those, set them off to the side of the road, and I think there was actually even a little bit that I put into my truck and threw away myself. But I don't think it's something that needs to be addressed right now, but I will talk with Troy and he'll probably talk with the gentleman on the snowplow route for that area, and we'll get it addressed if we need to.
Anything else, Sue? No, thank you. Public comment? Hearing none, no executive session and COTW. I think a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Plot, second by Petty. Clerk, please call the roll.
King,
Yes.
Yes.
Block,
Yes.
Petty, yes, Heslop, yes.
You do a clean sweep of all the motions.
Huh?
Really?
And committee of the whole, I think so.